In a world where dreams are often crushed by the weight of poverty, one boy from the crowded streets of Manila proved that hope can still shine through the darkest clouds. This is the story of a boy whose voice broke through the noise of the world and touched millions of hearts. But no one, not even Simon Cowell himself, expected what was about to happen on that America's Got Talent stage. Welcome back to our channel, where we bring you stories that touch your soul, moments that make you believe in miracles, and performances that remind us of the power of pure heart and courage. Today's story will take you deep into the life of a young Filipino boy who had nothing but a dream, and that dream changed everything. The cameras pan over the massive AGT stage as the audience roars with excitement. It's another night of auditions, another chance for someone to show their talent to the world. The judges, Simon Cowell, Sofia Vergara, Heidi Klum, and Howie Mandel, sit ready, looking at the long list of contestants. The lights dim, and the next act is called. A small figure slowly walks onto the stage. He looks nervous, wearing slightly oversized clothes and a pair of worn-out shoes. The boy can't be older than 12. The crowd quiets down, curious. Simon squints slightly, as if trying to understand what this young kid could possibly bring. The boy's voice trembles as he greets the judges. Hello, my name is Mateo. I'm from the Philippines. Sofia leans forward with a kind smile. Hi, Mateo, how old are you? I'm 12 years old, ma'am, he answers shyly. Simon smiles slightly. And what are you going to do for us today, Mateo? I'm going to sing, sir, the boy says, his small hands gripping the microphone tightly. What song are you going to sing? Simon asks curiously. Mateo takes a deep breath. It's a song that reminds me of my mom. A hush falls over the audience. The boy closes his eyes. The background fades into silence. A single piano note fills the arena. Then, his voice emerges, soft, trembling, but pure, like the first ray of sunlight after a storm. He sings a Filipino version of a classic ballad about love, loss, and hope. His voice isn't just hitting notes, it's telling a story. Every lyric feels like it's coming from his soul. The audience listens, completely still. Even the judges seem caught off guard. Simon's usual expression of skepticism fades into surprise. He leans back, crossing his arms, his eyes fixed on the boy. Heidi whispers, "Oh my God, he's amazing." The boy sings about his mother, how she worked endlessly in the heat of the streets, selling vegetables just to buy him notebooks for school. He sings about how she used to hum this song when she tucked him in at night, even when their stomachs were empty. And then he sings about how one day, she didn't wake up. The hospital said she was too weak, too tired. The crowd's eyes fill with tears. Even Simon blinks a few times, visibly emotional. By the time the song ends, the arena is silent. The last note lingers in the air like a prayer. For a moment, no one moves. And then suddenly, the audience rises to their feet, clapping, cheering, screaming. The boy's hands tremble as he lowers the microphone. His eyes glisten with tears. He can't believe it. Simon slowly stands up, clapping. Sofia wipes her tears. Howie shakes his head in disbelief. Heidi leans toward Simon and says softly, that was pure. Simon finally speaks. Mateo, he says gently. You know, we hear hundreds of singers on this show. But every once in a while, someone walks in with something you can't explain. You don't just sing, you pour your heart into every word. You made us feel something real. The audience cheers louder. Simon adds, that was absolutely beautiful. The camera zooms in on Mateo's tearful face. He bows, still shaking. Sofia adds, you have a gift, sweetheart. I could feel your love for your mother in every word. She's watching you right now, and she's so proud. Heidi nods in agreement. You reminded us why we love this show, because sometimes, someone small walks in, and they give us something huge. Howie says softly, you didn't just sing a song. You told your story, and the world needs to hear it. Mateo smiles shyly, whispering, thank you. Simon glances toward the golden buzzer in front of him but doesn't move yet. Instead, he looks back at the boy and says, can I ask you something, Mateo? What made you decide to come all the way here from the Philippines? Mateo looks down for a second, gathering courage. My mom used to watch this show with me on a small TV we found near the trash. She always said that maybe one day I'll stand on this stage. After she passed away, I promised myself that I'd try, for her. The audience gasps softly. A few people in the front row are visibly crying. Simon nods slowly. You kept your promise, he says. And you made her dream come true. Before anyone else can speak, Sofia reaches over the table, tears still in her eyes, and presses the golden buzzer. The crowd erupts into screams. Confetti explodes from the ceiling as golden paper fills the air. Mateo's eyes widen, disbelief taking over his face. He covers his mouth, crying uncontrollably as Sofia runs onto the stage and hugs him tightly. "You did it, sweetheart," she says. "Your mom is watching you, and she's smiling so big right now." Simon stands, clapping as the audience chants Mateo's name. The music swells. Cameras capture every emotion, the joy, the shock, the relief, the magic of the moment. Mateo kneels on the stage, golden confetti sticking to his hair, looking up with his hands pressed together in gratitude. That single moment becomes one of the most emotional scenes in AGT history. The clip goes viral within hours. Millions of people around the world watch the performance online. Comments flood in. "He made me cry. I haven't felt something like this in years. This is what true talent looks like." Even celebrities share the clip, calling him the angel from Manila. But behind that viral video lies a story few people know, the real struggle of how this boy even made it to America. Mateo was born in Tondo, one of the poorest districts in Manila. His father left when he was only 4. His mother, Lilia, raised him alone. She sold vegetables, washed clothes, and sometimes went without food just so Mateo could eat. He used to sing on the streets, near jeepney stops, hoping people would drop coins in his small box. He never saw it as begging. To him, it was sharing his music. One day, a tourist from the US recorded him singing under a bridge. The video was uploaded online and quickly gained attention. People were stunned by his voice. One Filipino-American producer saw it and reached out, offering to sponsor his AGT audition. Mateo and his mom were overjoyed, but before the paperwork was done, tragedy struck. Lilia collapsed while working at the market. Doctors said her heart had given out. Mateo was left alone with nothing but a small photo and the memory of her voice telling him, "Never stop singing, Anik. Your voice is your gift." So, he came to America alone, with the help of that producer and a local charity. He stayed with a host family, nervous but determined. When he finally stepped onto that AGT stage, it wasn't just about winning. It was about keeping his promise. After his golden buzzer performance, media outlets around the world started calling him, the boy who sang for his mother. He was invited to interviews, talk shows, and charity events. Despite the fame, he remained humble. Every time someone asked what he would do if he won the $1 million prize, he said softly, "I'll build a small house for poor kids back home. So they have a place to dream, like I did." Weeks passed, and the competition grew tougher. Mateo worked harder than ever. For the semifinals, he chose another emotional song, "You Raise Me Up." The lights dimmed again, and as soon as his voice filled the room, the audience once again fell silent. His performance left even the toughest judges speechless. Simon said, "Mateo, I've been doing this show for years, and very few performances have moved me the way yours did. You are truly special." He made it to the finals, standing among grown singers, professional dancers, and large performance groups. But the boy from the streets didn't let fear show. When the finale night arrived, he walked onto the stage, holding the same microphone he'd used in every performance. He looked up at the crowd and whispered, "This one's for all the kids who think they're not enough. You are." He sang a song he wrote himself, about loss, love, and courage. His voice cracked at times, but it didn't matter. His emotion carried every note. The audience stood up midway through, clapping to encourage him. Simon leaned forward, hands clasped, whispering something under his breath. When the song ended, the audience exploded in applause. Every judge stood up. The camera caught tears rolling down Simon's cheek, a rare sight. When it was time for results, the tension was electric. The host read the votes, and as the lights dimmed, everyone held their breath. The winner of America's Got Talent is, the pause felt endless. Mateo from the Philippines. The crowd erupted. Mateo fell to his knees, overwhelmed. Confetti filled the air once again. Simon rushed to the stage, hugged him tightly, and whispered, "You deserve this, kid." That night, millions of Filipinos stayed awake to watch the moment live. In small towns, people cheered, waved flags, and cried. Mateo had not only won a show, he had lifted the pride of a nation. He proved that dreams know no borders, and that a voice born from pain can change the world. After the show, Mateo used part of his prize money to start a foundation called Lilia's Voice, named after his mother. It helped underprivileged children in the Philippines pursue music and education. He built a small music school in Tondo, where children could learn to sing, play instruments, and find hope. Simon Cowell visited the school a year later for a documentary. When he arrived, he saw dozens of smiling children singing together. Mateo, now a little taller and more confident, greeted him with a big smile. Simon told the cameras, "This is why we do what we do. Because sometimes, talent isn't just about a voice, it's about what that voice does for others." The story of Mateo became one of the most inspiring in AGT history. Years later, people still talk about that moment when a poor boy from the streets sang not just for himself, but for every child who was ever told they couldn't dream. His voice became a symbol of hope, love, and unbreakable faith. Even today, clips of his audition continue to circulate online, bringing new generations to tears. The comments remain filled with love and gratitude. One viewer wrote, "I lost my mom too, and his song reminded me to keep going." Another said, "This isn't just talent, this is purpose." Mateo once said in an interview, "I didn't win because of my voice. I won because people heard my story, and it reminded them that love is the real music." And perhaps, that's the truth behind every great performance, not the perfection of the voice, but the sincerity of the heart behind it. As the sun sets over the Manila skyline, you can sometimes hear music drifting through the air, a chorus of children singing, their laughter echoing through narrow alleys. And somewhere among them, a young boy with a microphone smiles up at the sky, whispering, "We did it, Mama." Because when you sing from the heart, even the heavens listen.